Welcome back! We're talking about Goethe's Faust, and today we're looking at two short scenes, Forest and Cave and Gretchen's Chamber. The Forest and Cave scene picks up with Faust out in the wilderness after he's run away from Gretchen. He had that moment where she fell in love with him, and then the next thing we know, he's out living in a cave, getting in tune with nature. And the scene opens with him talking to the Earth Spirit, who we saw back at the very beginning. Remember when Faust conjured the Earth Spirit way back then? Well, it didn't go very well, and the Earth Spirit basically just blew him off and went away, but now he feels like perhaps the Earth Spirit was responsible for all the good things that have happened to him. Maybe since that moment the Earth Spirit's been watching out for him. We kind of don't feel that's true, and it seems kind of silly to us, but Faust has no other idea why Mephistopheles showed up when he did. He has no other idea why his life changed so much since that point. And so he attributes it all to the Earth Spirit. He attributes the ability to get out and connect with nature to the Earth Spirit primarily. After all, up to that point when he conjured up the Earth Spirit, he really just spent his whole life in his study, never really going out, never really getting in tune with nature. But now he's going out and experiencing the world and drinking it in. We all realize that that's because of Mephistopheles, and Mephistopheles is here because he made a bet with the Lord. But Faust still doesn't know that. He says, "You gave me splendid nature for my kingdom, and the strength to feel her, relish her." But while he's celebrating his new connection with nature, he's also frustrated with Mephistopheles. And he credits the Earth Spirit with sending him Mephistopheles. He says, "Nothing perfect is vouchsafed to man, I sense it now. Unto this ecstasy that makes me near and nearer to the gods, you joined me that companion, whom already I cannot miss. Though chill and insolent, he does debase me to myself, makes not your gifts with but the vapor of a word." He realizes his dependency upon Mephistopheles. He really can't live without him anymore. And yet, Mephistopheles is so frustrating, because every time he begins to feel something richly and deeply, Mephistopheles comes along, and his sarcasm and his irritability causes Faust to lose the magic of the moment. Mephistopheles pokes his head in and says, "Hey, you having a lot of fun out here? Ya sick of nature yet? We've been out on this nature hike, living among the rocks for plenty of time." And Faust is irritated because Mephistopheles is ruining a perfectly good morning for him. And Faust is also irritated that Mephistopheles has the audacity to want thanks for bringing him out here. Mephistopheles is a bit fed up with Faust and his romanticism here, and he says, "Without my help, how would you fain have led your life, poor earthling you? I've cured you from the crotchety throng of vague imaginings for years. But for my coming, you would have long have tiptoed from this vale of tears. Why make your perch in caverns foul and rock cracks like a molting owl? Why slurp from dripping cliff and oozing root your slimy diet like a newt? A pretty path to health and wisdom, there's still the doctor in your system." He mocks Faust's connection with nature, that Faust wants to live out in this cave and suck on moss. Ugh. And Mephistopheles continues to try to rile Faust up and mock his romanticism, but then, finally, Mephistopheles drives home his real point, which is the fact that he doesn't think Faust is out here just to be romantic, just to get in tune with nature, but that there's another reason he's out here. There, I will not grudge you on occasion the luxuries of innocent evasion, but soon you'll tire of dissembling. You are already all at sea, and, driven further, you will be worn out in madness, fear, and trembling. Enough of this. Your lovebird sits and feels downcast in spirit and confined. She is in love, head over heels, and cannot drive you from her mind. So Mephistopheles gets straight to the point, and that's the fact that he thinks that Faust is stalling. Faust has gotten cold feet and doesn't want to go through with this whole Gretchen thing, and so now he's just gone out to live in a cave and try to cool off for a while. Mephistopheles pokes and prods him and reminds him that poor Gretchen is at home just really wanting to see Faust. And that ticks Faust off. "Vile profligate, betake thee hence! Name not her sweetness that enslaves me! Make not my lust for her who craves me inflame again the exacerbated sense." "No need to fret, she thinks you've flown afar, and in a way I think you are. However far, I am near to her and crave her. She is never forgotten, never spent. I grudge the very body of the Savior, her lips that touch it at the sacrament." And so Faust has really not lost his desire for Gretchen. In fact, it's just increased while he's been out here. He's been trying to sort of stifle it and forget about it, but he can't. All he can think about is her. And although he pretends like he's trying to get close to nature, really it's Gretchen that he wants. And Mephistopheles eggs him home and talks about Gretchen in sort of crass terms, just infuriating Faust. And Faust concludes this scene with a very important speech, in which he talks about how he feels about himself and how he feels about Gretchen. What use her love's celestial graces? As I grow warm in her embraces, do I not always sense her doom? Am I not fugitive, the homeless rover, the man-beast void of goal or bliss, who roars in cataracts from cliff to boulder, in avid frenzy for the precipice? And to one side, she, still in childhood's shadow, all in domestic cares enfurled, in the small cabin on an alpine meadow, encompassed by the little world. And I, the god-forsaken, was not content with cliffside shaken and granite crushed and rent. No, she, her sweet composure must be shattered too. This victim hell must needs be proffered you. Make shorter, fiend, my time of dread contrition. Let it be now what needs must be. May then her destiny collapse on me, and she be joined in my partition. He describes himself as this raging waterfall, or avalanche, pouring down from the mountainside. Powerful and intense, but also somewhat purposeless. And here she is, this sweet little alpine hut on the side of the hill. And his avalanche or waterfall is just gonna smash her! Crush her, crush her, crush her. She must be shattered too. He can't help it. He just has to rush in there and destroy her. And we're all thinking, no, Faust, you don't have to do this. You can stay in the cave, or you can go somewhere else. Leave her alone. You haven't destroyed her yet, but he feels this sense of inevitability and fate. I must destroy Gretchen too. I'm going down and I'm gonna drag her down too. Not because I want to. Oh, it's gonna be miserable and I feel so guilty about it. So I guess I'll just go ahead and get it over with. Make shorter, fiend, my time of dread contrition. Oh, I feel so terrible about this, so I'm just gonna go ahead and go seduce her and then drag her down with me. And Mephistopheles rolls his eyes at this because, after all, what kind of attitude is that? He says, to me, there's nothing more insipid in the world than a devil who despairs. So you're gonna continue doing evil and feel bad about it at the same time? Psh, what good does that sense of guilt do? In huge contrast, we can see what Gretchen's up to during this same time. She's sitting alone in her chamber and spinning on her spinning wheel. And what she is saying sounds very much like a song. In fact, it's frequently been set to music. Famously, it's Gretchen am Spinnerad, which, again, I can't pronounce German words, but it's a famous song by Schubert. My peace is gone, my heart is sore, can find it never and never more. When he is fled, my soul is dead. My world is all as bitter gall. My wretched head is all askew. My bit of sense all come in two. My peace is gone, my heart is sore, can find it never and never more. Just him I spy at the window for, just him I fly to meet outdoor. His noble frame, his gait and stand, the smile of his lips, his eyes command. And then his speech of magic bliss, his hand on mine, and oh, his kiss. My peace is gone, my heart is sore, can find it never and never more. My bosom strains into his clasp, I could gather and hold him fast and kiss him, oh, the way I felt under his kisses would swoon and melt. There's a rapid rhythm to this, which goes along, presumably, with the sound of her spinning wheel moving around. And there's that repeated refrain, my peace is gone, my heart is sore, can find it never and never more. Even though Faust has not technically done anything to her yet, he's already completely changed her life. And he's already taken her peace away and her contentment. We can contrast these two feelings where Gretchen is just feeling intense desire for Faust, but Faust is feeling guilt and regret. And Gretchen's speech really ends with a deep sense of foreboding. She talks about how when she kisses him, she feels as though, according to this translation, she could melt. Although the word in German is actually the word die. As she kisses him, she feels as though she could just die. It's a very sensuous metaphor, but it also reminds us how very deadly and dangerous this relationship is for Gretchen. Join us again next time for our next episode, because the plot is going to explode. Everything happens in the next few short scenes. It's gonna be dramatic. The Disney song for this section is Just Around the River Bend. I look once more, raging from my rocky cave. I see myself charging like an avalanche, don't know what for. Why do all my dreams extend to crush her where she stands, raging like a waterfall? Thanks for watching. You can click up here to watch the previous video, or click here to watch the next video, or click down here to subscribe. And I'll see you next time. It's gonna be fun.